Hey guys, this is Crystal with a new art video, and this time I am doing Don't Starve together, and I'm doing Wendy and her sister Abigail, who is the ghost next to her. And I figured I'd do the Don't Starve together because it was between this one or the Brawlhalla one, which I'll probably do soon. Not next time, but soon. And I really ended up enjoying this one. I had a hard time figuring out how I wanted to draw her because, she's a little different, or I guess the whole Don't Starve thing, it's a unique art style, which is really cool. I like the art style that they have for it, and everything. And she's so cute. And she's the one that I usually play when I play Don't Starve because, I like her and everything. She's pretty awesome. And I recently figured out how to get her flower to open and to summon Abigail, which was, involving her actually having to kill something in order to do it. But that's okay, I was like, okay, I think in one of the other episodes that I recorded with my friends, I did it all wrong. But, now that I know, it's alright. I had a really hard time with her legs. I don't know why, but I did. But I think they came out really well in the end. So I was happy. And I was like, I'm just going to copy that other leg and then change a few things. And I ended up changing a lot more than that anyway. But that's okay. All's well that ends well anyway. So I figured, at first I was just going to draw Wendy because, Wendy's cool and everything. And then I was like, no, I need to draw Abigail because Abigail is her other half. Well, it is her sister, her twin sister. And I was like, cool, she's a ghost. She's a simple ghost. This is super easy. And then when I started drawing her, I was like, oh, okay. It's not as easy as I think. But I really liked it. So that was awesome. And I'm hoping that I think I finished one full run of Don't Starve. I don't think it's all out just yet, but it will be. And I'm working on getting another run up and going, hopefully soon. Oh, so here you can see me trying to use the fill tool, and I didn't really like how it came out, so I was like, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna not do it. Though, however, I did really enjoy how you could use it on the lines for the work and stuff and make the lines a different color. So I might actually end up doing that later, in another video art thing, doing the lines differently because that looked super cool. And I was like, wow, now it doesn't have to be black all the time. It could be some other color. So, because I've always seen other people do that too, and I was like, oh, that's so cool, but how did they do that after they had it black or a different color or this and that? I probably should work some more with masks and layer masks and everything, which I have recently, and I'm kind of getting the hang of it, and I'm like, oh, this is so cool. So, yeah. Probably end up doing that. It really helped out a lot in this to have a darker background too, because some of the colors are lighter and it's kind of hard to see against a white background, but it was a lot easier to see against a darker background. And another thing too, I decided to keep the nose and the mouth off, because I know that they have, everyone has a nose and a mouth, but I decided to keep it off because it kind of looked more, not mysterious, but different, she was wondering about her sister Abigail or something, whoa, or something. I don't know. And then I was unsure how to make the hands at first because you don't really see their hands all that much in the game. I mean, you kind of do, but they're circles or whatever. And then I was like, their design is really small, skinny, and thin, especially for their arms and stuff. And so I was like, oh, I'll just make her hands like really small, skinny, and thin and everything to kind of match the rest of her body. So that helped a lot, and I ended up liking how it came out. And some of the stuff where I erased some parts and it kind of came out the lines a little thinner in those areas where it looked like it was cut off a little bit. I really like that style too, especially in this Don't Starve style, because it kind of matches or mixes really well. So that was nice. For a second there I was like, oh, I forgot she wore leggings, and I almost colored her legs in with the same color as her skin, but then I was like, oh no, she's wearing, stockings or leggings or something, so I better do that. I really liked how I made her eyes like that big and everything, and they were a little different in my original sketch, but I enjoyed how they came out, because I wasn't sure for that part, but it came out a lot better than I thought, which was great. And this time, instead of moving the Photoshop itself from the top, as you can kind of see, the whole page is turned. I didn't figure that out till later, but I did fix it, which was kind of funny. I was like, how did that happen? But I was probably just messing around with it and then realized, oh, the page is turned, which I might end up doing later, because it was kind of hard for me to keep the page like the same, like in the same position without like trying to like move my hand around and stretch around the tablet and everything. But I keep forgetting about that page where you can like turn it around and everything, so that's okay though. And I explored more with her hair, like both with the shadows and with the highlights. I wanted there to be more, I guess, more detail into, especially with the shadows. I was really proud of myself for that. And then when I did the highlights for like the top of her head, I really liked how it came out. I was like, oh, I've never really done that before, I was like, oh, it just needs a little bit, and then I started putting just a little tiny bit more in between them, and it came out awesome. Or at least for me it did, and I was like, oh cool, I did something awesome. Everything. And I'll probably be exploring more of that as well later on. But this lotus flower, I was like, oh, I like lotus flowers. They're so cool and cute and amazing. And I enjoyed how that came out as well. For the skirt, I know it was like one kind of like thing at the bottom, but then I decided, oh, she has a lot of little layers in her skirt, and I was like, oh, I'll try and make that a little more apparent when I'm drawing it. I drew each one kind of individually, as you saw earlier, and then I tried to shade it more so it looked like they were kind of individual and they went forward and back in and folded and everything. And I was like, oh cool, I don't really wear that many skirts by myself, but it's like, okay, I got this. So this video is coming a little late because I was busy last week. I was on vacation and I got back I think yesterday, and I started doing this, and I was like, okay, I got this, and then I got so tired. I was like, I can't do this. So I finished it today and everything, and here you go, guys. I hope you enjoy. I enjoy doing this a lot, and I love the shirt color too. I was like, how am I gonna make the differentiation between her shirt and her skin color, because they're pretty close. So I was looking up a lot of photos, and I was like, oh, her skin is this color, and then her shirt, oh, it's like a different color, but it's so close, but it's like a little more pink, I guess. And at first even I was like, oh, I can't tell the difference, but then I started doing more of it and started shading it a little bit, and I was like, oh, you can tell the difference. Maybe I was just staring at it for too long that it started getting like that, But it all came out awesomely, possumly. And towards the end, you will see me doing my little signature, which I had a hard time deciding where I wanted it So I was like, oh, I want it over here. No, I want it over there. Yeah, I want it over here. But yeah, it ended up in a good spot. As you can see here, it was really funny. I just selected it and moved it around. But thanks guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all later. Bye! I just clean it up because sometimes, you know, you're just like, maybe I want to change this.